So, Randy, what is your sense of your father's works?
Well, it encompasses a long time. That was in the mid 80s when he passed away, and he's been painting much of his life. Uh, I guess the early stuff, it was scenery. Probably the first paintings I remember him doing was he went on a holiday when we were living in England. He went on a holiday with Mum to Switzerland and painted some outside paintings of nature and mountains, etc. And well, I don't remember a lot until we actually came to Australia in the late 50s, and he got into painting, candlesticks and there's a word for it that I'm searching for. Still life. He did still life, but I guess in the long run, what I remember most and what I think is he was best at was portraiture. I thought he just had a brilliant way of capturing portraits and the likeness. He's done all of the kids and Mum and himself. Some are stranger than others, but and whenever he went to a new place, he might paint. He did some paintings around Hobart, here in Tasmania, and well, and he has some unusual ideas. He painted the alphabet, different letters would feature, and often, now that I'm remembering it, is our surname he changed from Rosenberg to Rose once they moved to England from Germany, and the figure the rose comes up in many of his paintings, red roses. Well, I guess that's the sense.
How do you think your father achieved such variety in his works?
Well, not sure, but I guess he's had such a varied life. From youth in Germany to then during the war, he was in the British Army, and went to France and then went back to England, and he was a display. Well, that was his job for many years. Was what we call a window dresser or a display artist, as he preferred to use the term, which meant he would design mainly how ladies' clothing was displayed in the windows of shops. And in fact, in England, he worked for a company that had well over 100 shops all over England, and he used to have to travel a lot and organise the setting in the shops. And in the early days, he even painted signs that would say sale and how much a particular dress would cost. He was actually, one thing I haven't mentioned, he was excellent at copper plate drawing, something he had to learn when he was at art school, I think. And but he was a man of the times. So I guess, during the Vietnam War, there was a certain type of painting, and then in the swinging 60s or whenever, there was that sort of period.
How do you think your father's experiences affected his paintings?
Well, darkness, I suppose. His experiences during the war and before, when he was taken by the Nazis, be very scarifying and left a horrible stain forever, really. And of course, losing your parents and your sister in the war, mainly. But then, as he painted more and more and got recognised, I would say his happiness improved. In fact, I was just remembering it one night. I can't remember. I was probably at late years of school. I was at home and the family was out, and there was a phone call to say Dad had won first prize in an art exhibition in a competition in rural New South Wales. I can't remember who it was, and that was the first prize he'd ever won. So, he won a few subsequently, and he sold his works, and people were happy with him.